So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So let's keep going with the Anni deep dives, or well, half Anni. In this video we're going to exclusively talk about the new Shanks. And I stand by my initial impression that I think this was a very bad financial decision on Bandai's part. You can't tell me that this will end up earning them more money than if they did the Luffy and Shanks duo unit. With that aside, like focusing purely on what Shanks can do and his abilities, I'd say that I'm a bit more positive about him now. I can't say I'm super hyped, but he's definitely a good unit to own. And I'd be happy to pull, if not for the fact that I am on a pull hiatus, so it doesn't really matter to me what units do, I'm not going to pull anyway. So yeah, Shanks, let's do a recap. He's a Cerebral Free Spirit. He has a Super Tandem, he has Slot Bind and Special Use Limit. Slot Bind is 10 turns, 3 Special Use Limit, and we'll get to the Super Tandem later. As said before, his support effect is bizarre. He reduces CD if you use a CD reducing special. This is basically only good for longer content when you can start getting the special back a bit earlier to use again. So pretty niche. Like, this could be cool on Shanks himself, but he can't put it on himself, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, let's continue. Captain ability, -2 CD, which we always like. Cerebral Free Spirit Fighter Slasher, 5.5 times attack with matching slots, otherwise 5.25 times attack, 1.3 times HP, Dex Recovery Tandem, matching slot effects, which is pretty dope. Reduces special reverse by 10 turns, which is a really good utility to have. And his own CD is reduced by 3 turns every time a Cerebral or Free Spirit crewmate uses a special. And this can be used up to 8 times and 4 times in a single turn. And 4 times in one turn is what's required for Shanks to use his special twice. And the idea of this batch is kind of to use Shanks' special twice in one turn. But I think that it's better to look at him as a captain or a sub that can get his special back pretty easily and realistically use it on 2 different stages. Personally, I'd say that's a better way to view this unit. As for the special, I've said it before, but it's pretty weird the fact that he removes Death Down completely, but at the same time he just sets it to 0 for 2 turns through full immunity, so you don't even need to remove it, but he does. He locks slots for 1 turn, and if you have an ore boost when you use the special, you get a 1.5 times chain multiplier boost. It says that it sets the chain multiplier, which is the wording for a chain lock, but that is a mistranslation. This is a chain multiplier boost. Basically, the chain will go up higher than normal. It's one of the many stackable chain boosts in the game. And if you don't have an ore boost, you get a 2.75 times ore boost for 2 turns for Cerebral, Free Spirit, Fighter, and Slashers. So basically you want to build around these 4 classes, but at the same time Fighter and Slashers don't help Shanks get the special back as a captain. Note captain, because if we look at the sailors, as a sailor it only matters if the subs are strength or psi. So this means that using Shanks is widely different if he's captain or sub. In general, I think I like him more as a sub, really. I feel like he brings more to that. It's a bit harder to use him twice then, but not that much harder. Like, you basically need to use 5 more specials when going from one stage to another. And they could be like seed reducing special that speeds it up even more. So yeah, I think his sub potential is really cool. And one of the things that turned me around a bit on this unit in viability. Also very nice that he can speed the team up. Let's talk about the superclass as well. You need 2 specific units, and I've said it before, this is super dumb. They started doing this after EX, but as I've said, just do it for EX then. Why make every super special now require more than 1 unit? And the dumb thing is that we have like Big Mom, who has an EX that just needs 1 unit. Like, they are doing such weird decisions with these things. But yeah, you need 1 of Luffy, any of the red hair pirates, or Uta, or Katakuri, or Kobe. And as said, with Kobe, we should be getting a legend for him, which is pretty exciting. But yeah, the super class completely removes characters despair, boosts cerebral, free spirit, fighter, slasher character chain multiplier growth rate by up to plus 0.6 for 2 turns. So basically, if you combine the chain boost, the chain multiplier from Shanks special with the super class special, you basically get what you get from the anniversary Zoro special, which is pretty good if you consider it that way, because that Anni Zoro can sometimes just be put on teams for the unique chain buffs. And now Shanks does that and even more. So if you look at it like that, suddenly Shanks looks a bit better, I'd say. He also changes top row character slots to recovery, and middle row and bottom character slots to tandem. One thing you can see here is that it looks like only top row character slots are changed through block and not bottom and middle row, which is incredibly bizarre, but yeah, they like to do bizarre decisions lately, it looks like. Cerebral also becomes super cerebral. So yeah, overall, pretty weak super due to the despair just being for 1 unit. There are some workarounds you can do for this, which we'll get into later. But still, if you can get both the chain boost, that's a pretty good value. Pretty rare chain boosts as well. And some potential Orbanip. Super Tandem, I said this before, I stand by that this is a disappointing Super Tandem, not a weak one, just a disappointing one. Exact copy of Anniversary Ace Super Tandem, except for the fact that Anniversary Ace just needs 1 specific unit, here we need 2 specific units, and that does tank the damage a bit, and it also just makes it harder to team build in general. But yeah, 1.5 times attack boost to size, strength, cerebral, free spirit. And this is one of those other bizarre things where the Super Tandem boost is not the same as the Captain ability boost. Like, it's just weird, like, why suddenly size strength instead of cerebral, free spirit, slasher fighter? Like, it doesn't really make any sense. Also further boost the chain multiplier by 1.5 times when activated. So if you had so basically it means that during the entire turn, your chain will be 1.5 times higher. Like, if your chain is 5 times, by the time it's activated, it will be multiplied by 1.5 times, and every other chain you'll get after this also get a further 1.5 times multiplier. So it doesn't really matter when you use the Super Tandem, the end chain will be the same, if that makes sense. I know this because we've done a lot of research with the Anniversary Ace. So, but as said, I do have come around about him a bit, and mainly the logic to that is the fact that it's very easy, even if Shanks is captain or sub, to use his special at least twice, and that's without basically stalling as well. And if you look at it like that, especially if you look at it like a double special that you can use different stages, then it gets a bit better since you have the utility on removing death down no matter what. You have the utility in locking orbs, potentially even giving the orbs you lock with the super. You also have the big damage with the orb boost, and if you already have an orb boost, you can get a rare chain buff instead. And you can easily get this for 2 different stages without stalling. That's pretty cool. And of course you also have the potential utility in the captain with the special reverse resist and some matching orbs. So from that perspective, I don't really think he's a super strong legend, but definitely a legend that is nice to own. That also has some very cool sub potential. Due to this, does not have to be captain at all. With that said, let's go into some potential partners. First, I picked out some duo units you can use to remove the spear. And yeah, it's pretty hard to find like a lot of other non-duo units that can remove the spear through captain ability just for themselves. So here we have like a lot of duos that can completely remove the spear from themselves. Then Shanks can also do it, and that way you can ignore the spear. I'd say that there is one in particular here that is really good, which is cat and dog. Because not only can they also get rid of the spear with the swap, so you can ignore the spear completely with this duo, but they also just have a great complementary with specials. Like you can use Shanks first, get the big war boost, then when you use cat and dog, you get an attack boost, color affinity, and death down conditional, and Shanks also sets defense to 0 through full immunity. So it doesn't really get much better than that. Like no matter what content you get, you're going to get a big attack boost, or boost, color affinity, and death down conditional to full immunity with just 2 specials. I'd say that's pretty dope for a combo. So yeah, and obviously cat and dog can help Shanks get back his special again, even reduces CD a little bit. As for the others, Luffy Ace, especially with level limit break, pretty cool since you can get an attack boost. Also the burn potential for some extra damage, and they all also 2 turns, so good complementary to Shanks, who is also a 2-turn special. And of course Luffy is part of Shanks' superclass, so you can also get that covered. Same with Usopp, Yasopp, and of course they can give you another conditional, so I wouldn't say they have great synergy other than that. Basically the same with the last 2, I just put the remaining potential units you could use together. I honestly don't remember what this one does in the captain ability though. Also resist special reavers, so they have the same resist there, which is not the best. At least General Frankie can help with like attack down or burn, so you got some resistances there. But obviously you don't really use General Frankie as a captain. So yeah, with that, we look at some other potential captain hybrids with different resist. Shanks' crew is pretty cool since, well, Shanks is part of it, but you also have Lucky Rube and Beckman and the gang, and they will count to the superclass. Like it's just 1, you don't get 1 for Ben Beckman, 1 for Yasopp and so on. But it still helps for the superclass. And you also have a good complementary captain ability with the special bind resist. You have special bind, special reverse, also end of turn damage to bypass resilience. And you have a multi-turn big chain lock and big color affinity if the captain is Sai. So that obviously complements pretty well with the big chain boost from Shanks, but not really with his chain boost, but it just means you skip it in that case. So I think it's pretty dope. Can even get the attack boost, of course, from the super swap, and you got every buff covered. As for the rest, like Yamato Ace, also attack boost, can go through full immunity with the burn. Also Chain Boundary Super Swap, which goes well with Shanks' secondary effect. Gear 5, just great in general. Resist the spear too, so you don't even need to care about the rest. This potential the spear resist with Shanks. Same with Corazon and Law. They also do a big attack boost, and also has some utility in the superclass. Both are superclass to reroll, which is not optimal, but. And finally Nami, who can give that paralysis resistance as well. These are just some potential partners. There's a lot of more Luffy and Yamato in particular you could combine. One very interesting one is the OG Red Luffy. Like, obviously the new Red Luffy is a great combo with Shanks, but this one might even be better in some ways, since like he's side to begin with. Free Spirit too, so that's 2 things that like when you use him you help Shanks, but the cool thing is that it goes the other way around as well, because as it says here that if Shanks is on the crew, well, they have to be a crewmate, but as I said, Shanks can be a good crewmate, no doubt about that, so I don't really see a big issue there. But this new Shanks as a sub uses a special, will max charge Luffy, Luffy uses a special, Luffy using the special gets Shanks going again. So you can easily use Shanks 2 times, and each time you use Shanks you get back the Luffy. So you can get some good synergy that way. And of course Luffy can do a big attack boost and potentially a full board orb manip, also buff the orb boost and attack boost you get. So yeah, I think it's a very interesting combo. He obviously also has a final tap that can go along with the super tandem from Shanks, even if probably Luffy will be part of the super tandem, so it's not perfect really. Also a super type to help reduce CD, so yeah, there's a lot to like with this potential combo. Some other units to help get the special back easily. Kinemon, of course, OG color unit, very low CD, double special, very easy to spam his special. Pudding is very similar with a pseudo double special, can easily use her several times, and like each time you use this unit you get -3 CD to Shanks if he's captain. So we also have Miyok, where if you do enough damage he has basically a never-ending special you can use every turn, and every time you use it you get the -3 CD. And obviously Soba, also pretty good synergy, since you can basically use a few specials, get Soba back, get Shanks back, use another special, get Soba back, get Shanks back. So, and obviously Soba does an attack boost, Shanks or boost, so pretty good synergy. Soba with 6+ could be even better of course, but still a pretty cool combo. Also get the tandem orbs with the special. So yeah, there is definitely some cool things you can do, so I look forward to trying the unit out. As Frank Captain, I guess, since I'm not pulling. But yeah, let's end this video with the PvP stuff. And for many, this is the main reason to pull this Shanks, since it does look pretty good in PvP. Not perfect, but good enough. I have some issues with abilities, but like just the beginning with Psy, HP up level 6, speed up level 6, def up level 5, yeah, like that alone makes him a really good contender to be used, because like that's the perfect thing. It just lacks attack up, but he can get some for himself at least. If you have 5 teammates or less, which is pretty bad, because this Shanks looks like someone you want to start with, not have on the bench. So this means you're probably not getting this. You might get it if he lives long and you are doing bad. Then you can get some extra clutch attack up and def up. Also, we have the fact that if you have one of the red hair pirates on the crew, he gets a self-special CT speed up level 5, which is very strong with that 29 CT, can be very fast. But there's not really any of these you really can use. There's, as far as I remember, there's no really good rare recruit. And I can't really remember any decent legend of these for a side team. So looks hard to get the bonus stuff, but thankfully the base stuff is good enough, I'd say. And it also helps that the special is really good, 29 CT. Psy gets attack up level 7, speed up level 7, def up level 7. Very good. Then enemies in large range get attack 3 times 3.5 damage. This is basically the same as Vito Odin, same damage. As far as I can see, it's a bit bigger range as well, since Odin is just a large horizontal range. This is just a large range in general. And after 50 seconds, he just hits all enemies again for 3.2 times damage. So yeah, he might be a new staple for side teams, which is obviously only got stronger with Luffy. I'm still interested in how Psy does against In, since In still has a lot of ways to really much slow down Psy. So I'd bet that Psy still beats, or Int beats Psy. But who knows, like you can maybe put the new sheet unit Nami-Karina on the team and it changes the matchup completely. But yeah, I don't have a Pooh or such, I can't really do a lot of testing. Also resist action bind and some int damage reduction. GP looks pretty decent, I'd say. buffs Psy, Quick, and Int. So that's pretty cool. Psy and Int are good. Quick is more sus, I'd say, in terms of viability. Burst, reliable, 50 seconds. Like, it's a shame you can't get it earlier, but at least there's no RNG to getting it. And basically, teammates with less than 50% HP heals 70% HP, so potentially a full board, full HP heal. Quick Psy and Int also gets a level 10 shield for 10 seconds. And after 60 seconds, 3 enemies with high attack ignores death for leader base attack. As basically thus 3 enemies are hit with 3 times damage ignoring defense, which is really strong, of course. Still pretty hard to use well since you have to wait so long. So I'd be interesting to try it, but I can't, of course, since I won't be pulling. But of course, we're getting a lot of shield, since shield is one of the potential counters for Gear 5 Luffy. And I think counter is the wrong word, it's more that you don't just die by his special, instead you take like no damage at all, since shield just stops it. So yeah, interesting in GP. So let's see what other people can do with that. But yeah, that's 20 minutes talking about Shanks. Let me know if you're going to be pulling for him or any of the other 9.5 anniversary legends. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.